So we see our trio just taking a casual walk, trying to get to. They're on their way to Hartsable because apparently there's a thing happening, and so they're trying their way, making their way back down this like meadowy road, as it like looks like it's starting to rain.
Oh gosh. Why didn't I look at the forecast this morning?
And then Ace is like covering Torchic like with his sleeve, like, oh great. Did anyone pack a jacket?
Yes, well, I only have a few jackets, and I do have an umbrella, but that's torn to pieces.
How is it torn to pieces? And why do you still have it? Ace says as he's just like trying to protect Torchic from getting wet.
Long story. Judging by the dark clouds, it's gonna get even worse. Let's try and take shelter.
Good idea. And so like a trio are trying to like run to find like at least the Pokemon Center or something. As they're like running, that's when you can hear thunder, and the rain's just getting harder.
One of us is gonna catch something if we don't do something about this fast.
And Ace is like, no kidding. It's like this rain went from 0 to 100 in like no seconds flat.
Hey, there's a house over there. Maybe we can take shelter over there.
We don't have any other better ideas. Let's move it, people. He says as he's like runs ahead of the group because he's still trying to protect Torchic from getting wet. And Rowlet's fine. Rowlet's a grass type. It's fine.
Yeah, just make sure it doesn't get struck by lightning.
Yeah, it's just holding on to Ace on his shoulder like normal.
Yeah, and then the moment they get inside the house, they slam the door.
Like then they're like breathing heavily for trying to run in this heavy rain. And like there's just like the sound of water dripping from them. And then Ace is just like, is everyone accounted for?
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Poor Grimm's there, like, literally looking like a wet cat as it's trying to shake its body, like, it's like, I didn't ask for
poor
this.
Poor Riolu, who's, soaked to the bone.
Poor Riolu looks like it's shivering from the waters, like, Riolu.
Yeah, it was pretty bad out there. Why don't we get a fire going? That way we don't freeze to death.
Good idea. Ace says it looks like he's like digging through his bag, and then he pulls out a towel.
They enter the living room, and there's coincidentally a fireplace.
And then Ace was like wiping down who has like Torchic kind of wrapped in the towels. Just he himself is still dripping, so his hair kind of looks a bit flattened down. As he's like, no doubt about it, this place definitely used to be lived in.
Yeah, it definitely looks abandoned, but we didn't have any other choice.
It's like, as long as nobody starts hackling us for trespassing, I think we're good. As he's like kneeling down, trying to like ruffle like Torchic to get better, and then he's like, all right, looking at like Rowlet and Riolu, like, those who want to get dry better come up now or hold their peace. It's like Mama Bird's kind of inactive in Ace is in Mama Bird mode right now, so the Pokemon just want to get dry. So he's on his knees, he's wiping them down with his towel, trying to get them dry.
That's use. Out of curiosity, they go to what seems like the kitchen, and everything looks trashed. Like there's cobwebs everywhere. And the chairs look all destroyed, except for the table. And there's nothing on there except for a book.
And then like, Graham's like looking all around like the area with you, and it gets shivers up his spine. And Grimm's just like, "Let in. I don't like this place."
Hey guys, take a look at this. They say as they grab the book from the table.
As like they grab like the book, like they don't notice that a little cup had fallen off from like near like the kitchen counter used to be, and Grim just hops like Lee! As it like falls down.
What's that book?
Like Ace will like finishes toweling off Riolu and still has like the wet towel in his arms, just like, did you find a library or something? As he like walks towards them.
No, I just found this on the kitchen table. And what's weird about it? It doesn't even have any title to it. Just a picture of a girl. Look.
They stare at like the picture for like the book for a long time, and Ace gets shivers like, I don't like this. It's just a book, but I don't like it.
Well, is there anything inside it?
Like so you like tries to open the book, but for some reason the pages are just blank.
Eh? Okay, that's weird. I've heard of disappearing ink, but this is just blank.
Maybe no one didn't get a chance to write in it before they left the joint. Ace like shrugs as he looks like he's about to, he's like turns his back towards the group as he looks like he's going to put the towel back, but then he sees Torchic running off like, "Hey, don't go running off in this spooky place," as he's like wandering off to try and then follow Torchic.
And that's when they just like they try to like look around, because if they're gonna stay here for a night, they at least need to find shelter. But then all of a sudden they just hear this ghostly, almost cheery voice from the direction where Ace ran off to with Torchic.
like they just hear like a Mama, like from where like Ace went.
Did you just hear something? And then Deuce points out, Ace, behind you.
Ace like picking up Torchic, and Ace is like, "What are you guys going on about?" But then like there's just like, "Mama, you took so long." Like Ace is like yeah. But then like there's just like sudden like dust clouds like swirling around, and everyone's trying to cover their eyes.
Oh my god. Oh, Arceus, have mercy on my soul. Is everyone okay?
Like, Grim and Riolu are like coughing up a fit, like
Graham actually coughed up a hairball at that one.
Yeah, he just like Then they just hear little panic, Torchy,
Wait. All of Ace's Pokemon are here, but where is Ace?
Like, they're looking around, but there's not a trace of the red hat in sight.
But then them, they just hear a panicked like voice of Ace.
He's like, ah!
Ace! Oh, sounds like he's upstairs. Let's go after him.
So they're like trying to run upstairs. But it's like they notice like some objects are like floating around, and the doors kind of look like they're like slamming shut all the way.
Yeah, and there's like a bunch of ghost Pokemon trying to like attack them. But Deuce just keeps asking, like, oh, what did that girl want with Ace?
Like, poor little Torchic's like kind of tearing up, like, Dory.
Like, you picking up Torchic, like, shh, it's gonna be okay. We'll find him.
Rowlet didn't look too pleased. It got its trainer stolen. Like, Row! It's randomly attacking ghost Pokemon right now.
Yep.
And it ain't making things easier.
We pan back to Ace, who's like on the 3rd floor of the house, and Deuce and you are on the 2nd floor.
Like Ace like kind of like is like trying to wipe his eyes off of like the dust, and oh, great, what was that? Like, and they just hear like he knows he's in like a child's playroom. And then they're sitting there like in a little rocking chair is like a young girl who looks about 6 or 5 years old. Is just sitting there with like a little stuffed rabbit, and she like it looks like she has like yellow like hair clips in her hair as she turns, and like it looks like she beams like, there you are, Mama. You took quite the nap. Just like automatically runs to Ace, and Ace is like, I'm sorry, what?
And then like behind Ace, there's like a few Litwick like just like starting to circle around the ghost girl, like as if they want to play with her.
like the ghost girl kind of like laughs at like the Litwick a little, like, don't worry, we'll play. Mama just needs to get up first. The Ace is just like, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure you're confused. First off, I'm not your mother. And then, like, almost like the liquids start like glowing, eyes are glowing, looking at Ace, and then the girl's just like, but Mama, you came just like you said you would. Are you still tired, Mama? Ace is like, I told you, I'm not your Mama. He's feeling a bit tired. And, like, the ghosts are just like, his eyes are glowing the same color as the ghosts. And like the girl's just like innocently petting like Ace's head and like, don't worry, Mama. You just need to rest a little more. There's really bad people in the house. My ghost friends said that they'll make sure they are far away. And then we can continue playing. I hope they managed to find Abra. The nightmares were really scary, Mama.
But before Ace was able to completely like close his eyes, they just hear the door burst open. Ace!
That's like when like the Litwick turned towards you, who like bursts into the door, and the little girl kind of looks scared, and there's just like negative like almost like fog around like from the Pokemon too. Then that's not like an overshadowed, but it looks like they're using like their ghostly energy to try and in a form of intimidation.
And Deuce immediately immediately runs over to Ace and like shakes him. Dude, snap out of it.
Ace just like, oh, my head. They just hear like a little, leave them alone. Like the little girl's like glaring, like, get your hands off Mama. And then like almost like a little ghostly force field pushes Deuce back a bit.
Deuce! Ace, are you two okay?
It's like, I'm fine. Ugh. And like the little girl's like hugging Ace, like, go away.
That's when like you actually takes another look at the book, the picture of a girl, and it's the same girl as the ghost who's surprisingly protective of Ace. Like, wait, don't tell me you're this girl on the book?
And like the girls like look like that's mine. Why do you have it?
I found it, but why did you leave it there?
I didn't. Papa said he needed it. Papa. Like little like tears are like from, and then like the ghosts are like automatically trying to attack you.
But thankfully the Pokemon are there to keep them occupied.
Like the little girl like looks like she starts shaking, like, I remember an everlasting dream. Like she shakes her head like, no, in everlasting darkness. My mama, Papa, Abra, where are you? Like she starts full out crying, and just like earlier before, there's like gust picking up again, and just like it almost looks like the place is warping a bit, like
Yeah.
as like the ground's shaking and everyone's panicking. Like it's like, Deuce, watch out! As like a bookcase is almost about to fall on him.
Like, whoa, look out there.
Like that's
he
like
says as he like points out that an almost heavy-looking box from one of the toy shelves is about to land on Ace's head.
it's like, ah! He doesn't know he's trying to shield the girl, but like it almost like bounces off him, like as like the girl's crying. Like that's like when you notices the book's glowing.
Wait, guys.
Like they open like the book as they take, but then it like they get like a flash from the book. All of a sudden, they wake up in an area. You and you only, by the way. Like it almost looks like they're in like a black and white picture almost. Like it looks like it's supposed to be sunny. Like they're like at like the house, but it almost looks new. They hear like the bright like laughter of like a little girl, and she looks like she's playing ball with an Abra. It almost looks like it's the same girl from before.
And like the dad comes in like happy to see his baby girl, like, but like, all right now, I'm afraid it's time for bed.
And the little girl's like, but Papa, me and Abra were playing. But like she kind of coughs in a bit, like.
You see, you don't want your condition getting any worse, do you?
You're right. That's like when a woman also appears, as she's like her and Abra are walking inside. She looks like she's like stirring a pot of like soup. She has like hair, like it kind of looks like Ace's, but hers is more darker, pulled like in a braid. As she's like walking over, like, Now, dear. Don't be too hard. She's only 6. Like, with a little cheery smile on her face as well.
I know, dear. I just wouldn't know what to do if her condition got any worse.
I know you're doing very hard to find a way to cure her. And I really appreciate it a lot. And I'm sure Rin is too. Aren't you, dear? Like, the little girl who's already, like, nomming on her, like, bowl of soup's like, uh-huh. Papa worked really hard.
That's when, like, they just pan back to you, looking at the happy family, saying, like, so her name is Rin.
And, like, that's, like, it almost sounds like a page is turning. And then, like, the scene kind of fades. And then, like, we see the mom with Abra walking out of the house. And, like, there's a little, like, from, like, a nearby window, you see Rin, who is currently asleep. And she's just like, now, Ronan, you don't have to be so huffy. I'm only going to get some more medicine for Rin. Isn't that right, Abra? Abba!
I suppose you're right. Just, please, promise me that you'll at least come back home unharmed.
Then she just gives, like, another beaming smile, like, you have nothing to worry about. It's simply a trip to the store. I've been on it many times, you know. Besides, I have little Abra looking after me. Isn't that right, little one? Abra! We'll be home before I have to cook dinner. Do take care of little Ren, won't you, hun? She as like the mom says, as she like gives him a kiss on the cheek.
Of course. I love you, my dear. Please, stay safe.
She then just like playfully like, I love you too. No, don't be so serious. That's like when she like, you sees like as she like she's her walking off with like little Abra. But then like almost like clockwork, they hear another page turn. And they see like Officer Jenny at the doors like, I'm sorry, Roran, but I have terrible news about Rosina.
What do you mean?
Apparently there was a surprise fire near the store. Tom had accidentally set an electrical fire near the area. I'm sorry, but she didn't make it. We tried everything we could.
That's when, like, he's just, like, he just looks down and just, like, starts crying. Like, no.
Like,
why? Why did this happen?
And, like, that's, like, when, like, you who's, like, behind, like, the dad, they hear, like, footsteps coming from the stairs. And it's little Rin with her bunny, like, trying to wipe, like, sleep out of her eyes, like, Papa, are you alright?
Like, just looks at the little Rin, like, no. So she was unaware that her mom was dead this whole time?
Like, only it's like for her, like, to cough again. Papa, why are you sad? Didn't Mom said she'd make your favorite tonight? Don't worry, Papa. Mom will come home. But, like, nobody has, like, the guts to tell this little girl anything.
Yeah, like, that's when, like, the father, like, at least tries to wipe some of his tears away and, like, looks at the girl, like, yes. Well, she called me and said that she was going to return home late, so...
The little girl does just like smiles like, okay, let's make her favorite tea before she comes home. It's like she like tries to smile again, only to cough again.
But that's when, like, Nurse Joy comes in. Officer Jenny, I believe it is time for us to do more of the treatment for Abra.
And Jen's like, right. Looks like the father's like, I am again sorry, Ronan. As like the girls like walk away. Rin's just standing there confused like, is Abra sick too, Papa? I didn't make him sick, did I?
It's not like the father's like, no, not at all. It's not your fault. It's just surely a common flu that can only be treated within a few days.
Then like the girl just smiles again like, okay, Papa, whatever you say. Then like you once again hears a paper being flipped, and once again they're at a memory, like seeming to be like two weeks after the incident. They see like a little girl sneaking out of the house, and it is of course Rin's like, they told Papa's. She's like walking out like into a forest in the middle of the night, and she's like talking to her like stuffed rabbit, and it's like, Papa said they had to take Abra away for a while, but they forgot to bring you, Mr. Fluff. Don't worry, I kind of remember where the town is from here. Mama took me on a walk once. She's like looking down like, I really miss Mama. Mama said she'd be gone a while, but she hasn't come back. I miss Mama, but Papa said she'd come back. So, until then, you'd have to keep Abra nice and toasty, okay? She's like talking to this like rabbit, like tears are falling from her eyes as she's blindly walking through the forest. She doesn't know that it's kind of been hours since she started walking. So as she's walking in the forest, she's like, the place is pretty far, but don't worry, Fluff. I'm sure we'll get to town soon. Like that, like she doesn't know, like there's like Pokemon like running away as she continues walking. She doesn't know there's like this strange black Pokemon. Like she's like, huh? That she steps on a twig. And all she hears is a duh. Then like there's dark shadows aiming toward her. She screams. I'm like, all you see is like things are getting hazy. She sees the girl fall with the rabbit, and like hears like people like shouting coming towards their direction. But like before the thing changes, they see Darkrai dashing away. But then almost before the scene completely changes, they swore they see a shadow with horns sticking out of it. Before the scene completely changes.
Yeah, but before they get to the next scene, you just, like, a little in shock. Wait, that shadow. Why does it feel like I've seen it before?
And then, like, that's when it changes to, like, what appears to be the day after they witness Win walking. She's in her bed, but it kind of looks like she's tossing and turning.
And, like, she looks like, almost as if she's having a nightmare. And, like, after some time, she doesn't even wake up. Not even from her usual sleep schedule. The dad gets worried and brings in a drowsy to make sure that his daughter is at least not having a terrible nightmare, but unfortunately she is. And that's when he brings in a hypno and uses forewarn to check what actually did happen to her.
As like it uses forewarn, that's like when it like the move can be identified, and from like the nearby Pokedex, they hear the move called Nightmare, a signature move from the legendary Pokemon Darkrai. One says that once in a nightmare, it is very tricky to be pulled out. Only the Lunar Nightwing could reverse such powerful effects.
That's like the dad worried sick for his daughter, but will do anything to save her life, and tries to gets up to try and go and search for the Lunar Wing.
Like, but of course, like before he leaves, he pets Rin on the head with like words of promise that he'd return with the wing to like help her. But he doesn't know. But what you can see is like there's another little version of a girl next to him. But that's not just any girl. It's Rin.
That's when Rin trying to reach out to her father.
As after hearing her father's words and watching him go, she's just reaching out a hand and you could swear she can hear Rin's voice as it says, "In the dark dream, I could hear Papa's voice, but I tried to tell him, please forget about the Lunar Wing. Stay here with me, Papa. I'm scared. Papa." You see the girl trying to follow her Papa, but he just leaves, and she doesn't look like she can go any further from her body.
And pan over to you, thinking, oh no. First the mom, and now the daughter? This family fell apart.
Then that's when again, this time, you looks like they're seeing the dad as he is looking everywhere to find this Lunar Wing. He is looking, and it seems like a day turns into 2 days as he is constantly searching, only for what appears to be a week to pass as he is marching back home, but he looks triumphant. He looks so happy. Only when he comes home to his daughter, that's when Nurse Joy is looking at him sadly and shaking her head, almost, and no words need to be told, as the dad lets go of the wing he looked so hard for.
Nurse Joy says I'm terribly sorry, but your daughter has passed on. And the dad actually broken by this, drops the Lunar Wing and gets onto his knees. No, I've lost my wife. I lost my little girl. I lost everything.
And then almost before the scene once again changes, they almost hear a surprisingly familiar voice as that seems familiar, that they've heard it before, I wouldn't say it's everything, before the scene changes again. And once again, they see the house just aging, as they see Rin just like sitting on the porch. It almost looks like she's waiting for something as she's holding the wing. And they once again hear the page turn from what seems like the final time before the book stops glowing and everything once again looks back to normal. They just see Rin like crying, but she's not full out sobbing anymore as she like wipes her eyes. The Pokemon look to be like somewhat calm. And that's like when she's like, "Oh, I remember now." As she like gets up. And then she's like looking at everyone like, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." And she's like looking down sadly.
And it's like, now at least learning her backstory, like gives her a sympathetic smile like, "It's okay, Rin. You don't have to apologize. Besides, you're still young, so I guess it makes sense you'd make that mistake."
Look, Rin kind of looks like them, like slightly surprised, like, "Oh, you know my name? It's been a while since anyone called me it before." And like, they look like teary, like, "Last time I saw Papa, he went to try and find the lunar wing. But I kind of felt like it wouldn't be worth anything. I just wanted Papa and Mama." Then like she like looks like, "Oh, the lunar wing." She then walks over to what looks like a bed as she's like digging under it to pull out what looks like a very shiny feather. She looks back to the group as she says, "I can't use it anymore, but I think it'll be okay now." As she's like walks over to like you, kind of gently cuffs their hands like, "I'm sorry for causing trouble to you and your friends, but can you do me a favor? Could you please take this and return it to the Pokemon for me? I think it would put Papa at ease." And that's like when she like finally like gives them a smile almost similar to her mom's as she turns to Ace and does like, "I'm sorry if I scared you. I promise I won't be mean again." She like looks at like the ghost Pokemon who are like looking at her sadly and is like, "Thank you for being my friends. It was less lonely with all you around. I hope you can find peace too." As like she's smiling, it almost seems like the rain is finally calming down. And like what seems like to be the morning sun is like peeking out as she's smiling at all of them. Is like, "Thank you for visiting me. I needed some friends." Before like she smiles one more time, and almost like as if there's petals coming off of her, she glows and then just disappears.
Like you looking at the book, then looking at the lunar wing, like, wow, that was a lot to take in.
Ace just like sighs like, "I don't know what happened, but I'm kind of getting tired of people calling me Mom."
And then Goose chimes in like, "Yeah, that's probably a habit now. And I've thought that I've had hearing some people in our gym calling Trey Dad was weird."
Ace just like glares like, "Do I look like mom material to you?" Little does he know he's been acting like a mom since he got Torchic.
Yep. And like, you chimes in like, just to make sure, you guys didn't see what was in the book either, did you?
Ace just like shakes his head like, "Nope. That girl's been clinging to me the whole time." Almost remember like, "Hey Deuce, let me see your head for a sec." As he's like just takes Deuce's head. It's like, huh, figured. One of those weird toys shattered and scratched her head. As he's like wiping like Deuce's forehead and just puts a band-aid on it, like, I'm attacked by a ghost. What's next? He doesn't know that as he's been doing this, Deuce has just been blushing the whole time.
Thanks, I guess.
And Ace is just like, yeah, you better thank me. You almost got smashed by a bookcase.
That's like huge times in, like, well, that's as they look at the book again. It actually does have like pictures this time, and just like the exact same scenes as when they saw in the flashback.
Only to like when they get to like the very to where they last saw, they see pictures in color, what looks like them and the Adus, and then as they turn to like the last picture, it's just a colorful watercolor picture of a girl smiling.
And on the bottom, underneath the girl's face, it says, "Thank you for everything."
And then at the bottom, there almost looks like a childishly hand scribbled of a name, Rin Kisaraki.